Baby's on Fire, Great White, intro. Song's in E flat, I'm in E standard. Playing in the right fucking position, but it's not going to sound right with the recording. Either way. So, just doing some muted open string mutes there. For the sake of accuracy, you want to do the same, start out with 3 count and the next one's a 4 count. You hear that 9th fret harmonic in there. Anyway. 12th fret harmonics there on the B and E string. A few more muted string taps there and slide down on the 9th fret of G. Now all this work's going to take place right here on the 9th and 11th frets mostly. I'm going to fuck around on 12th fret here a little bit on the B string, but most of it's going to be right here on the 9th and 11th frets of your in A, D, G, and B strings. Anyway, so now we're going to pull off on the 11 to 9 on the D string. And then we're just going to down to the 11th fret of A, 9, 11 of D. Slide down on the 9th fret of D, of B and G. Alright, 7th fret of G, slide up to 8. Keep that ringing. Grab the 8th fret of E and slide them both back down to 7. Alright. Pulling off on the 11th fret of B and G. Go ahead and pull them both off. Down to the 11th to D. Back up to G on 9 a couple times. Right? Now that picks up there, you're starting off with this. Just a power chord shape there on the 7th fret of E. That's going on. So we're combining two things here. So when that kicks in, that's going on. So the second time will come in. 3 taps there. And here we're going to grab the 11th fret of G and the 12th fret of B. Bent up. We're going to keep that 11th fret of G bent up. Just going to pull it down. Pull it down and release it to 9. Come back and pull off again on 11, 9 of G down to 11 of D. Here, we're going to grab the 9th frets of D and G. And go up to 11th frets of D and G. Come back on down to the 9th frets of A and D. 9th frets of D and G. 2 taps on the 11th frets. Alright. Now here we're going to come up and slide up to the 13th fret of G. Slide up on 13 of G and grab a 13th of E. We're going to walk down on 12, 11 on E. Grab the 9th fret of B and E together. So we'll do the slide and we'll count down 4. So if that makes sense. And here we're going to go 12 on B, 12 on B, down to 12 on G, and then 11 on G, 9 on G, 11 on D. G, 12B, down to 12G, 11G, 9G, 11D. Alright, we're coming to that part where it's... So, I'm sure you might hear that. I'm not going to be able to do that right now because we're coming down here and finishing down that little walk down there. So we're going to go, instead of going, we're going to start out on the 11th fret of D, same note, but we're going to start out an octave higher. Come back to the 11th frets of D and G. We can't carry that note because we got to get started. So, come back to the 11th frets of D and G. I'm just going 9th fret of G, 11, 9, 11 on D. Now it does sound like it's up here, or down here. It does sound thin like that, and you could play that. That's where it sounds, but I think it's more the guitar tone. Maybe going from a, you know, a humbucker on the fucking rhythm and the verse parts to a different guitar tone. Guitar tone changes though, I know that. From the lead parts to the rhythm parts to the solo even sounds differently. So while it sounds like it's here, we're gonna play it up here. We're gonna wrap that shit old school. Grab your thumb around there. So from there, we're gonna grab our 7th fret of E, do a little reach, not a reach around, it's a wrap around. 7th fret of E, up to our 9th frets of D and G. It's that E5 chord inverted. I'm just going to pull off the 9th fret of G there to the 8th fret. Right? First pass, we're doing a couple double taps. So, 2 taps there on the 9th fret power chord. 9th fret of D and G. Now we're going to start over. Instead of going, I'm just going to do that 9th fret tap. Same shit. Except on this second pass, we're only doing one here. We go. Ooh. So instead of going, you just go once. You can hear that. From the fucking top. The lead part here. Just going with some muted taps there 4 times. So Grab those ninth frets on there after some muted taps. 3. And we're just going back and forth between the ninth frets and 11th frets of B and G, and 11th fret of D. You know what I mean? Now, at the same time, you just and you give that a pretty sharp bend. Maybe not that fucking sharp. And that's just a little. Now, a little finish there. It's just 11, 9, 11 back on the D string. Alright, I'm going to finish this one walking from the 9th fret of E, 7, 9, 11 on A, 9, 11 on D. We're going to reverse that. We're going to go 11, 9 on G. Now we're going to come back and bend our 11th on G and our 12th on B. Bend that 11 on G and 12th on B, and then grab the 9th frets on B and E. And we're doing 9, 11, 9. Grabbing both B and G. To the verse.